Hey guys, today I just felt like filming a really easy tag, and so we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I actually haven't participated in this one before, so this should be exciting. It is mid-year, and I'm freaking out. So I feel like this is fitting. I cannot believe it's already freaking July. This year has just fucking flown by. I don't know where the time went. I don't like it. Things need to slow down. Anyways, let's just dive right into the questions. I am excited to do this one, so let's go. All right, so the first question is, what is the best book you've read so far? The Unspoken Name, without a doubt. Unspoken Name takes the cake here. So far, that's the best book I've read this year. It was like a stellar 5-star for me. So new favorite author, new favorite series to go on my shelf. Honestly, I felt like the book could have been a standalone. Like, I would have been perfectly happy with that. I'm curious what happens in the sequel, but we'll see when I get to it. I don't see a lot of people. I know it came out, I think, 2021, but I don't see a lot of people talk about it. I mean, maybe it just came and went. You know, I'm late to the game, as always, so I don't know. Maybe that's the case, but I just don't see anybody talk about it here. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read this year. House of Sky and Breath. I haven't read a whole lot of sequels. I mean, I don't count manga that are like part of a series because I feel like it's cheating. So I think that might be like one of the only sequels I've read this year, if not the only one so far. So, I mean, it was great. I thought it was awesome. I'm excited to see where this goes. Can't say I was like super surprised. Part of that is I was a little bit spoiled from TikTok. So, question number 3, what new releases do you still want to read? None of these 3 came out like super recently. They have been out for a little while, maybe even late last year, like late 2021. But I'm still counting them because they're relatively recent, and I'm really trying to catch up on the new releases, like in terms of getting in the loop again, because I avoided watching like new release videos where people are talking about them for a while, because otherwise I rush out and I want to buy the books and then I don't read them right away, and it's a whole vicious cycle. So I've just tried to like take a step back from the new releases for a little bit and try to catch up on some of my like older backlog of books. That being said, there are 3 that I'm really pumped to get to. 1 being The Thousand Eyes. That's a sequel to The Unspoken Name. 2, King of Battle and Blood, which I'm currently reading right now. 3rd, Lachlan's. I've talked about this a little bit, but I am pretty pumped. The second book was a cliffhanger. I mean, the first one was a cliffhanger, and the second book was like a major mindfuck. So I really want to see how this ends. Question number 4 is, what are your most anticipated to still be released books in 2022? So these are ones that have yet to come out yet, but are coming out toward the end of this year. And I have a small list here, okay? I had to condense it. Number 1, The Liminal Zone by Junji Ito. That comes out July 26th. I have it on pre-order. I'm excited to get it. I have Spelljammer, which is Adventures in Space. It's a new D&D book. This is kind of miscellaneous. I don't know that I'm actually going to pick this up, but like I thought about getting it for the D&D group to gift it to the DM, because I was like, can we do this? Can we do this one? It's basically Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, but in D&D. If I knew how to DM, that's what I would be doing. I'm super excited for this book to come out. And Spelljammer comes out August 16th for anybody interested. I'm also excited for a Duel with the Vampire Lord. However, I haven't started this series, and I think this is like the 3rd book in the Married to Magic series, but this is by Elise Kova. This comes out August 18th. I really like Elise Kova. I've really enjoyed their stories, and I want to continue reading them, so yeah. Also, one I recently found out about was The First Binding by R.R. Verdi. This is August 16th when it releases. I'm also really excited for Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. This comes out July 26th. Another one I have on pre-order is Nona the Ninth. I think this might be the last book in the Locked Tomb series, which I know some people, hate it, some people love it. The second book was like not bad, but like hella confusing. This is by Tamsin Muir. This comes out September 13th. I already have it on pre-order. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm like hesitantly excited. And lastly, I am anticipating the release of The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. This comes out November 11th. If you haven't, way back in videos, I talked about how I read Witch Shadow, which was the most recent release in the Witchland series, and as much as I was so pumped for that book, because I love Isolde, she is my favorite character, I just didn't like it. Like, I got just about like 90% of the way through the book, and then the very ending, I just could not be bothered to care, so I just like sped read it, and then I unhauled my Witchlands books. So I am like cautiously optimistic that The Luminaries will be very good. I do like Susan Dennard's writing. I don't know. I'm gonna read it because I want to see if it's good, if it's great. That'd be great, but if it's not, then I can't say I'm gonna be shocked. So, no shade. I'm cautiously optimistic about The Luminaries. Question number 5 is, what is the biggest disappointment you've read this year? The Crown of Gilded Bones. It was just okay. I see a lot of the feedback, I'll say, the critiques of it that people have given, and I would say that a lot of them are very valid. Most of them, if not all of them, are very valid. It's a lot of just... Oh, God... just walking around town and some of this, I can see how some of it's really cringy. I mean, I kind of look past the cringe sometimes, I think. Maybe I just don't notice it when I'm reading it as much as some other people do, but in retrospect, I can see how people were kind of disappointed by that one. The next question is, what's the biggest surprise that you've read this year? Toilet Bound Hanako. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be great. So, yes. Toilet Bound Hanako was the biggest surprise. The next question is, do you have a new favorite author? Yeah, I talked about this just very briefly, skimmed over it, but Elise Kova, definitely one of my new favorites. And then A.K. Larkwood, who did The Unspoken Name and then its sequel. I would say those two so far are my new favorites. The next question is, do you have a new fictional crush? Yeah, Courseway. I think it's just something about her. You get in her head, I like it. Tal, not so much, no. It gets a little bit of redemption at the end, but I don't know. Somebody's such a bootlicker. Ugh. The next question is, do you have a new favorite character? I don't know if I technically read this book this year, early, or late last year, but in Vespertine, the newest Margaret Rogerson book, it is part of a series that she's supposed to be releasing, The Revenant, that our main character is basically possessed by. I compared him to Venom, because that's kind of the level of weird, dark humor you're getting there, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see more of this series. I'm so excited. When I was putting in my answers for this, I was like frantically searching to see if they'd actually talked about the sequel at all. No news yet, so it's just kind of an interesting dynamic. The whole time I was reading it, I was like, why am I reading its voice in Venom's voice the entire time? The next question is, what is a book that made you cry? Fire Falling. This is the second book in the Air Awakens series by Elise Kova. It's just that cliffhanger. And then you're like, the title. So, yeah. I think I screamed. I didn't cry, but, like, emotionally, I was distraught when I read this, the ending of this one. So, just know that going into it, there is a, like... I feel like cliffhanger is, like, almost like a pun. So... it's intense at the end there, and it, like, literally ends, like, ugh! Like, it's so sudden. It's so, oh my god. Yeah, as you can tell, reliving it, I'm just, like, distraught. Okay, so the next question is a book that made you happy. Yeah, The Unspoken Name. The ending is, this is where I'm, like, I would have been happy with it being a standalone, but I'm interested in where the sequel goes, because... I'm like, is it just fan service? But we'll see. Yeah, the ending for The Unspoken Name, without spoiling too much, is just kind of like, all-around happy ending, I guess? So, yeah, the book made me happy. The relationships in the book made me happy for the most part. Even, like, Courseway and Orana, like, I end up kind of being like, okay, like, I kind of like your dynamic. All in all, the book, in some ways, toward the end at least, is very heartwarming. So, the next question is, what's the most beautiful book you've bought? I think the cover of Lachlan's is going to be good, because it kind of matches the rest of the series. The Thousand Eyes has a really cool cover. I don't know. I haven't bought a lot of, like, newer books. The covers for Noragami are always banging. Moving right along. The next question is, what do you want to read before 2022 ends? This is not a conclusive list, okay? I need to read these before the end of the year, like 100%. These are ones I want to get to this year. The Shadow of the Gods, and the sequel. The War of Two Queens. So I have, like, Shadow in the Ember, or whatever the fuck it's called, and then The War of Two Queens, and then there's another one coming out later this year, so I need to catch up on this. I'm so behind, but she puts out like 2 books a fucking year. It's insane. The Starless Sea, because I've heard it's emotionally destructive, and I just need to get to it. The Rage of Dragons, and The Priory of the Orange Tree. As you notice, this is a lot of, like, high fantasy and they're big books. So, and last but not least, I'm supposed to talk about some of my favorite community members. So, other booktubers that I've really been enjoying lately. So I have 5 here on the list. Bookish Realm, Honest Fiction, Temeckas Library, Booked and Busy, and Happy for Now. These are all, like, I guess, smaller YouTubers, although you don't get much smaller than me with my whole 20 subscribers. But I've really been enjoying their videos, and if you don't subscribe to them, I recommend checking their stuff out and see if it's for you. Yeah, so that concludes my mid-year freakout tag. Like I said, it is mid-year. I'm freaking out. I start grad school the 22nd, I think, of August. So I have, like, just about a month, maybe 2. Yeah, about a month and a half until that happens. And I'm going to do a life update vlog in a little bit, but you'll see it, like, later in July probably, where I'm going to probably just talk about some personal things and what to expect from my channel going forward, since I will be starting grad school full-time. I work part-time. Aside, YouTube is just a hobby for me. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a life update vlog later in July. So if you're really interested in just, like, getting to know me a little bit, maybe, and hearing me talk about my personal life just a little bit, check that out. Anyways, guys, leave me a comment down below and let me know what books you're excited to read in the second half of this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.